Well, welcome back to another QuickFormational video. I'm Sean Pennington, CEO of Solomon IT, and this week we're going to be talking about backup and disaster recovery. And this is a pretty big topic, so I'm going to try to burn through it as quickly as possible, but we're going to continue down this little track of what it is MSPs do, and one of the big things is backup and disaster recovery. It's absolutely critically important. If you don't have it and you don't have it very well set up, you could be in really big trouble on a number of different levels. So let's jump right in. There are a ton of different backup softwares out there. They go from tape backups with magnetic drives to cloud backups and everything in between. But here's the thing, okay? You need the right backup for what you're doing. And if you're a business, you really shouldn't be doing cloud-only backups unless it's really just a desktop that you're using. And we're looking at smaller companies, less than 5 employees, less than 5 computers being used, and no server. But you get beyond that, you've got a server of some sort, you definitely need to have a full backup and disaster recovery plan. And that is part of what MSPs do, is they help set up a backup and disaster recovery plan. And it should be a written out plan, not just something of, oh yes, we do that. All right. It's what MSPs really should be doing, is helping you to develop your policies. And part of those policies is absolutely integral, is that backup and disaster recovery plan, how it gets implemented, and what the steps are in case of a critical incident. It's like having a security plan, right? Or an incident response plan. You have to have it in order to know what you do when it hits the fan. So what do we do? Backup and disaster recovery. And to be perfectly honest, there are only a couple of really good ones out there. I'm not going to name names because we don't do that on this, but there are only a few that will put your backups onto a local backup platform that's on a different operating system that has a hardened security kernel on it, and will back it up to the cloud and allows you to virtualize that server or that desktop on to that backup appliance. Again, very few companies out there that are doing this, less than 10, definitely. And so you need to make sure that your MSP is absolutely using one of the best ones out there, because your data is your company. And that is what hackers go after. So if you don't have a backup of it that you can get access to quickly, you could be in trouble, and it's definitely a way of losing money if you're not able to recover quickly or at least get access to that data. So backup and disaster recovery, absolutely critical, and make sure that your MSP has a written backup and disaster recovery plan. I'm Sean Pennington. That's what MSPs do this week. And as always, have a happy Friday and a great weekend.